Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, Louis Hospital on St. Croix has battled the threat of CMS decertification for more than a year now. And this week is the hospital's moment of truth. The hospital announced Monday that CMS officials have arrived to scrutinize every aspect of the hospital's operations. News 2's April Knight has that story.
Louis Hospital is under a microscope this week as Centers for Medicare and Medicaid surveyors try to determine if the hospital has achieved CMS compliance since the threat of decertification more than a year ago. The CMS team will be conducting a full conditions of participation survey, looking at the hospital's progress on the Systems Improvement Agreement, or SIA, that was designed to help JFL achieve CMS compliance. CMS notified the hospital in September 2014 that it will terminate the hospital's participation in the federal health programs effective October 9th of that year, so that neither Medicare nor Medicaid will reimburse it for care. Since then, the hospital, with the help of the VI government, has negotiated for a way out, eventually agreeing to a systems improvement plan. This visit by CMS officials is the big survey, the hospital's last chance to show that it's making improvements and that they're enough to achieve compliance and keep those CMS reimbursements coming. Already, the hospital is showing good signs financially. It recently reported the fourth straight month of monthly profits, and it's largely because of a much improved revenue cycle.
We started with a new department. It's called community-wide scheduling. We actually have individuals that were trained specifically to begin the gathering of information from patients, whether it's insurance information or other. We also went to the bedside. We're working with the clinicians as well as the nurses to ensure that we document everything that we've done on that patient, because in the rule of healthcare, if it isn't documented, it didn't happen.
JFL officials were not available for comment on Tuesday. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Senator Kurt Violet says he welcomes the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to St. Croix. Senator Violet feels that tremendous strides have been made at the hospital and many positive changes have taken place over the past year. He says he is looking forward to a successful CMS visit and thanks the hospital staff and everyone who has helped to make the Governor Juan F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center a great place for both the public and employees alike. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, Schneider Hospital's Nurse Extern program is getting a much-needed check donation from the Benny and Martha Benjamin Foundation. The Extern program, established in 2005, provides training to University of the Virgin Islands nursing students and prepares those students to easily adapt to the hospital setting once they are licensed. Foundation officials explain why the Extern program is one of their favorite projects.
One of our prize projects has been the Student Nurse Extern program, which is a collaboration between UVI School of Nursing and Schneider Regional Medical Center. We met with the graduating class of nurses, and David asked, where are you going after graduation? And 201, they were going stateside. David was instrumental in getting the university and the hospital to create this program so that the students feel acculturated and have a place to go upon graduation.
Also, one donation from a charitable foundation could mean better health care for St. Thomas residents. On Tuesday, the St. Thomas East End Medical Center unveiled a brand new laboratory equipment that they say can mean efficient and more cost-effective health care that would benefit the center and its clients. News 2's April Knight has more.
The only federally certified healthcare clinic on St. Thomas is receiving brand new lab equipment that could be a game changer for its clients. Thanks to the Benny and Martha Benjamin Foundation, the St. Thomas East End Medical Center is getting a new automated blood counting machine that can cut cost and wait times for patients.
The way to really improve healthcare in the Virgin Islands, what these people do here is bringing direct care to the people that need it most.
Before the $11,000 equipment donation, the clinic would need to send out blood samples off-island to get the most basic results. Now they can get results in real time and make faster decisions on clients' health.
We're now able to offer the blood work all day long and not have to have patients come back the next day if they don't need to get the labs done. So our purpose is to prevent barriers, take down barriers to care, because of course having blood work and lab work is essential to us as providers and doctors being able to make the best clinical decision we can.
According to clinic officials, the new CBC machine will end up serving about 250 clients per month and will take accessible and affordable healthcare for its clients to a new level.
It's less time. The doctor can see right away what's going on. So the doctor will know right away what they need to be done. If they need vitamins, no vitamins. If they need a little bit more, sometimes if the blood is extremely low, they might need a blood transfusion. So basically it helps in all areas of this clinic.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
The East End Medical Center also received some new refrigeration units from the Benny and Martha Benjamin Foundation for storage of vaccines and other temperature-sensitive items. On December 3rd, Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter met with Commissioner Pedro Cruz of the VI Department of Sports, Parks and Recreation and with Jamila Russell, who is the VI Territorial American with Disabilities Act Coordinator, to discuss a plan to make all the public recreation facilities in the Virgin Islands ADA compliant. Lieutenant Governor Potter initiated the Sports, Parks and Recreation Adoption Team, the SPRAT program, designed to foster relationships where public sports, parks and recreation facilities will be adopted and be cared for by private entities. There are 35 recreation facilities. Many of these facilities are not in full compliance because they were built prior to the ADA requirements becoming effective. In other news, Commissioner Pedro Cruz, meanwhile, of the department, says he's notifying the public of the closing of the restrooms located at the Valdemar Hill Scenic Overlook on Thursday, December 10th and Friday, December 11th. This collaborative renovation project with the Department of Tourism will enhance visitors' experience at this popular site. The renovation plan calls for the replacement of all the current fixtures and the repainting of the restroom. The restroom renovations should be completed, he says, within a week. Well, after 2 failed attempts at a record-breaking dive, Project Nautilus diver Keith Sagre is giving it one last try. Sagre first went underwater on Friday in a bid to double the current longest underwater dive record, which is 72 hours. Sagre was aiming for 144 hours, but on Sunday, after the first failed attempt, he lowered his expectations down to 100. Well, after another equipment failure on Monday morning, Sagre went back into the water Monday evening and hopes to at least make it past the 72-hour record by Thursday. And of course, it is a fundraiser for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs has recently been made aware that certain business establishments in the Virgin Islands are refusing to honor validly issued voters' identification cards as proof of identity of all individual consumers. They have been turning consumers away, stating that voter registration cards are not accepted as a valid form of ID in the VI. Title 18, Chapter 5 of the Virgin Islands Code sets forth stringent requirements, they say, for the procurement of voters' identification cards. Information provided to the VI election system by a voter is sworn to under penalty of perjury punishable by incarceration. The DLCA urges that business establishments in the VI recognize the VI voter's ID as valid proof of identification. DLCA is also warning of telefraud scams targeting Virgin Islanders. Now, calls from foreign area codes like Serbia, Afghanistan, and China, among other places, have been reported. They call, sometimes letting the phone ring once and hang up, prompting curious victims to call the number back. That's when you get hit with a $15 or $30 charge for the call, or sometimes the victim answers, allowing criminals time to remotely hack personal information stored on your phone. If you think you've been a victim of telefraud, call the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs. Turn our attention overseas. Donald Trump says he doesn't care if his latest proposal isn't politically correct. Trump says he wants to bar all Muslim foreigners from entering the U.S. And Andrew Spencer reports the presidential candidate is taking a lot of criticism for it. Here's more.
Has taken the idea of a religious test even further.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Hillary Clinton called the suggestion reprehensible, prejudiced, and divisive. The Council on American Islamic Relations called Trump's idea outrageous, un-American, and reckless.
This is exactly what ISIS wants from Americans, to turn against each other.
Other Republican presidential candidates were also quick to distance themselves from Trump's proposal.
Donald Trump always plays on everyone's worst instincts and fears, and saying we're not going to let a single Muslim into this country is a dangerous overreaction.
Jeb Bush dismissed Trump on Twitter, calling him unhinged and saying his policy proposals aren't serious. Senator Lindsey Graham called on all presidential candidates to, quote, do the right thing and condemn Trump's proposal. But the line of supporters outside Trump's event in South Carolina shows he still has a lot of people on his side.
He understands that if he can keep the media focused on him and focused on playing his rallies live, that he'll be able to connect with other people. Any other candidate would kill for that. But he gets the media attention because of how outlandish he is sometimes.
I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Meanwhile, keeping our eye on the economy, Puerto Rico's Governor Alejandro Garcia Padilla, buffeted by a struggling economy, a federal corruption probe, and weak poll numbers, will announce this week whether he plans to seek a second term. His spokesman told reporters that on Monday. Garcia Padilla is considered a long shot to win a second four-year term in next November's election. He has also faced opposition from officials, particularly mayors within his own popular Democratic Party, who have said he failed to consult them on key issues affecting their towns. At a news conference on Monday, the governor's public affairs officer, Jesus Manuel Ortiz, says Garcia Padilla would announce by week's end whether he plans to run, but he gave no exact timetable for that decision. Well, coming up on News 2, more events to add to your Christmas social calendar in our Christmas segment. That's coming up next. Welcome back. We will be broadcasting the long-awaited event, Waiko's Christmas, at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. The West Indian Company Limited will host its annual Christmas tree lighting from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Wednesday, December 9th at Havenside Mall on the West Indian Company dock. This year's event, under the theme, A Storybook Christmas, will feature New Story Time, the recently released compilation of stories by students from the Adelita Cancray Junior High School. There will be musical entertainment, seasonal treats, cultural traditions, and performances by school choirs and bands, all leading up to Santa's arrival in time for the Christmas tree lighting at 6 p.m. Of course, stores will remain open late with special offers to accommodate early bird holiday shoppers. Well, just a reminder as we take a look at the Crucian Carnival calendar. The theme is past, present, and future scenes. St. Croix Carnival 2015-2016, and thanks to Marsha Lewis, who submitted that theme. Well, a Soca Party is coming up on December 11th. Monarch Preliminary will be held at the DC Canagator Ballpark. East Juve and Mini Village, that opens December 12th. Juve is at 5 a.m. from Basin Triangle to Altona Lagoon. DJ music follows the bands. Mini Village is just for one night and opens at 7 p.m. Bands start at 8:30 p.m. The Prince, Princess, and Duchess show, that's December 13th, 3 p.m. at Island Center. St. Croix Carnival Queen, December 20th, 5 p.m. at Island Center. The Main Village in Frederiksted opens December 26th at 7 p.m. and it remains open until January 3rd. And just a reminder, Vitima on Thursday, December 10th, will be conducting a full-scale maritime exercise in the St. Thomas-St. John district to test the first responders' capabilities in managing a major incident at sea. The exercise, titled Operation Pillsbury Sound, will be held from 8 to 5 on December 10th and will occur at Pillsbury Sound. The U.S. National Park Service docks at Red Hook, St. Thomas and Cruz Bay, Schneider Regional Medical Center on St. Thomas, and the Myra Keating Smith Community Health Clinic on St. John will be all part of it. As part of this scenario, an explosion will occur on board a ferry carrying 60 passengers on an excursion trip to St. John, staged with victims being portrayed by actors on board. In the last CAPRA meeting held last evening, December 7th at St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, the discussion centered around garbage in the streets, overflowing bins and guts, and more. The need for more bins, additional pickup, illegal dumping of garbage by non-residents, abandoned cars, handicap designated spaces, trees growing through utility lines, the need to remove abandoned buildings or reassign properties for use by the church or community, vagrancy, and more. And, residents had a chance to get some updates on how the community can also assist in the Mitchell Motel project. Senator Kurt Violet is urging all parties involved in horse racing on the island of St. Croix to come out for a resolution that would ensure the continuation of live racing for the 2016 season. The St. Croix Horse Owners Association and Traxco, which is a subsidiary of DV Carina Bay Beach Resort and Casino, they have been at a stalemate for all of 2015. During the first 8 months of the year, races were not held on a regular basis, which caused horse owners to incur thousands of dollars in losses, in a direct violation, they say, of law. Traxco continues to operate slot machines without conducting live races. Additionally, Traxco has repeatedly requested waivers for promised infrastructure enhancement projects. Well, it began today, Tuesday, and continues on Wednesday, December 9th. The St. Croix Casino management and employees are being trained by the certified specialists in recognition of Gambling Awareness Week. Thursday, December 10th, the commission will take its message to St. Thomas, where certified specialists will be on hand to disseminate information on St. Thomas. Saturday, December 12th, the commission, in collaboration with the Sunny Isles Shopping Center's management, will sponsor its Family First VI Responsible Gaming Awareness Family Event. On hand at that event will be problem gambling experts who will be there to answer questions and provide advice on responsible gambling. Well, for those who are shopping online for the holidays, next time you buy something online, ask yourself this question: who will make sure the package is secure if it arrives at your house and no one is home? Consumer Alerts has a cautionary tale about what could go wrong and what you can do to protect yourself.
You're looking at home surveillance camera footage. As you can see, at 3:05, the postal carrier delivers a package. 42 minutes later, a van drives right up to the door. A man gets out, brazenly takes the package and leaves, all in a matter of seconds. The picture went on a reward poster, and postal inspectors soon zeroed in on Terry Ware.
We saw this individual taking other parcels around and being a part of a mail theft ring.
In this case, Ware made off with a $250 jacket. Here is how a mail theft ring works.
They'll drive in cars and wait around. They'll follow the postal carriers.
Then, when they know a package is sitting there unattended, they make a move.
They would take the chance of going up there, acting as if they were knocking on the door, soliciting some other thing if the individual came out.
If no one answers the door, they grab the package.
They don't know